Now, for those of us living in the delusion, as the Western world is the problem of Africa, they are majorly the problem of the Africa because they are dictating for us what and what's not to do. They will not let us govern ourselves. They will not let us decide what to do and what's not to do. I would like you to watch this interview of Jonathan. If it was the BBC, it has been years back, but I would like you to see this interview. It was for it did interview for the BBC and hear what he's talked about during his 2015 election and about Chibos guest. I would like you to watch this video and then get to hear what I have to say. Let's watch the video.
Level of interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming. It's not as if I couldn't have won the election even with that. But if, by my own thinking, and also the way some other people look at it, they go outside the normal diplomatic relationship, then it should be mentioned. Sending that person to Nigeria at the eve of election, after Obama even issued a statement directing Nigerians to vote for the next chapter, that tells you something. And we should not sweep these things under the carpet. If a foreign country, whether African country or even America or any other country, interferes with our own elections, we should mention it. Immediately the Chibok issue came up, we expect Nigerians to be concerned. How do we get these girls out? Within a couple of days, we saw people going to the US would bring back our girls' placards. How? Why? And of course, the Mrs. Obama received one of those placards. I cannot take responsibility for the abduction. I don't control Boko Haram. They are criminals. But as a president, of course, you know, it's not the president that go to the field. You have security and intelligence officers that do the work. Let me admit that, yes, maybe they do their best, but their best was not good enough for us to recover the girls. That does not mean that I'm trying to remove myself from any blame. Yes, I may not be blamed for the action, but I could be blamed that my security and intelligence system were not strong enough to be able to rescue the girls. The level of interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming. It's not as
Now you see what he said there that a day before election that the government of America, which is Obama, sent a delegate into Nigeria to visit who? We know they visited Buhari. Why did they visit Buhari? After they made a speech that after he made a speech that Nigerians should vote for the next phase, as in we should vote for our choice. We should vote for whom we want. And after making such speech, the day before the election, they sent someone to meet Buhari. What are they discussing? And from what he said about the Chibok girls, that was when he was still a president. When the Chibok girls were kidnapped, few days after they kidnapped, I don't know, no one knows how the thing got to the to Americans, and and then they were holding placards which the wife of the president, which is the first lady, was one of those holding these placards displaying "Bring back our girls." Like he said, he was not the one that kidnapped them. He does not have any hands in that. But how did these placards got to the America? How did the news got to America? Yes, it's the news, but how did the placards of "Bring back our girls" got to the America? A few days after the kidnap. And these are the same people that sent a delegate to meet Buhari, that was strongly against Jonathan during his time as president, to meet Buhari a day before election. So what we are they discussing? See, this has been something that has been coming right from the onset till the day of the election. So if I may say, Buhari has been working hand in hand with the president of the United States. So they will find a way to eventually get him into the Aso Rock to become the president of Nigeria. Now, tell me, do you think that that they use their veto power to tell Buhari that we are going to make you the president of Nigeria with their veto power, or do you think that that there is something that they must discuss behind, something that they will be getting from the presidency of Buhari, something that will be getting from him for him to become the president of Nigeria? You know, the president of Africa, they unanimously they decide, they freely decides to become the puppets of the Western world. The Western world are not interfering with our leadership. They are not in the leadership of African countries. They are not interfering with our policies. They are not interfering with our politics. They are not interfering with our democracy. The people that have decided for them to interfere are those that are in the government, our leaders. They are the ones that have decided that we want this to interfere. Because tell me, how do you think that a day before after election, someone a someone came from another country to visit an opposition? Imagine such thing happening. Imagine someone from Russia or China coming into America a day before an election to meet someone that is contesting for president. Do you know what Americans will do to that person? So if you are in the delusion, if you are living in the delusion, because me, I'm not living in the such a delusion. I'm living in the reality, the facts of the reality. This is the reality. There is no way the leaders of the African countries will decide that we want to do things our own way. We want to do things the way we want it. We want our policies the way we want it. We want our governments to be the way we want it. We want everything the way we want it. And you see the Western world coming with their veto power to tell them that it is a lie. You cannot do this way. You cannot. There is no way they will do that. We have been seeing that, like the laws they have been passing, and the anti-gay law that they have been passing that, and this people has not been, even the sanction that was given to the Zimbabwe are still surviving till today. They are still a country to today. They have not gone into extinction. So these people are the ones that have decided to become puppets freely, puppets to this Western government and their agendas. So if you keep living in this delusion that the Western world are tampering with our policies, are doing this, are doing that, you are living in a it's not in a denial. You are living in a delusion. The facts of the reality is they are the ones that have decided. If you look very well, all the presidents of majorly most African countries that have been there for more than 30 years, the highest has been there for 40 something years, 20 something years, you still find this Western world supporting them to remain in that position. Why? Because these people have decided to become puppets to them. Any day they say, look, I no longer want to play these games with two people, you see they will turn against those people because they are no longer getting anything out of them. They will turn against them. But these people, they are the ones that, yes, we want to become your puppets. Why? Because you know how Africans are. An average African wants to be rich. They don't want to be remembered. They don't want to be remembered for anything. They don't care about memories and immortality and image. They don't care about it. They just want to be rich. So these people, their main aim is to steal, loot what we have here in Africa and send it over to the Western world to keep it safe for themselves. They take our money, they keep it safe over there for themselves. That is the only benefit they are getting. And then they become puppets for this Western world. That is the only thing they are doing for themselves. That is the arrangement. So if you are living in the delusion, you should wake up from this delusion and know for the fact that the Western world is not the problem of Africa. The African leaders as the problem of the Africa. If you could even remember, during the Trump and Hillary Clinton election, there was rumor that Buhari gave 500 million to Hillary Clinton to Hillary Clinton for her campaign. Hillary Clinton was the Democrat. because Democrats was in support of Buhari, they which they desperately wanted him to win. Of course, because of what they will get from his government. So please, we have to wake up from this delusion and know that we are our own problem. If we want to solve our own problem, let's start talking of what the leaders are not doing right and leave the Western world out of it. They will not come here to fix anything for us. Rather, they will want us to remain where we are, so they will keep on taking rather than rather than us using what we have for ourselves. They will rather want them to take it and use it for themselves.